Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Magical Witchy World TV. I am Star Ravenhawk.
And I am Rhonda Allen. Welcome back. Happy Friday,
Yay!
everyone.
Happy Friday. And now on with the show.
Yes, a very special guest.
Yeah.
It's a magical, witchy world. It's a magical, witchy world.
All right.
Yay, Mimi. Welcome.
Mimi,
Hi, everybody.
How
okay.
are
What
you?
do you-
I'm doing
Oh,
good.
I
I'm
was
doing good.
excellent. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here I am
Okay,
adjusting
there we go.
screens
There we go.
again. Yay, this is our
Okay.
normal look. Well,
Yes.
welcome to Magical Witchy World TV. As we like to do every week, we like to introduce our guests to everyone watching live and on playback. So I'd like to go through your bio first. So
Mhm.
Mimi Curry is owner of the Sea Witch Emporium. Mimi hails from the Appalachian Mountains of North Carolina and now resides in the swamps of Louisiana. She is a gifted psychic and medium who performs services, teaches, makes custom products through her website www.theseawitchemporium.com. She also provides readings through Hex New Orleans since 2018.
Mhm.
With a background in folk magic and Catholic folk magic, she is knowledgeable on several topics in the occult world. She is also in the process of writing her first book, The Sea Witch Emporium, The Magical Siren Song. This is exciting. That is so exciting.
That
Again,
sounds so wonderful. That
yes.
sounds so wonderful. Yes,
And
yes, yes.
thank you for taking the time. We really
Yes, yes, yes.
appreciate
And we've
it.
been looking forward to having this conversation with you because, as usual, we just talk about you, whoever the guest is. You're the one that we're talking about and your journey and all of that. So, one of the first questions we ask people is because people have a tendency, however long they've been in the magical world, they have maybe a name that they may have called themselves, not anybody that other people called you, but what you called yourself and what the arc of where you are now and what you call yourself now, if it's changed, if it's not,
Mhm.
something like that.
Absolutely. So I go by Mimi, and surprisingly, that is a family situation because,
Hmm.
I had a little cousin who's not so little anymore, which makes me feel kind of old at this point. But he ended up just calling me Mimi, and I was like, oh, it's stuck, and just kind of went from there. So, yeah.
So in terms of like what do you refer to yourself as, a witch, a gypsy, a
Mhm.
medium, like what term or rather the journey of that, what do you say?
I tend to call myself a practitioner because
Okay.
I think it makes a little bit more sense because I mean, with everything, practice makes perfect, right?
Okay. All right.
Yes.
True.
um,
True.
yeah, but I also alternate between like that and calling myself a witch and psychic medium. It just kind of depends on the moment. I answer to any and all of the names. So,
Right
Okay.
on.
All right.
Yeah, and it's true. And practitioner, that's a great
mhm.
word. And I'll
Yeah,
be
it is,
honest, it's
yeah.
not one that we hear
We've heard before,
often.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I like how you explain that. And yes,
Mhm.
practice makes perfect.
Yes.
So tell us about what it is or what happened or what was the impetus? What brought you into this world, into this work, into the world that you are as practitioner?
So, growing up where I did, my grandparents would have their little practices that they would do, like
Mm,
planting things by the moon and all these, like, more of what you would call, like, folk practices. that they always called it old timey, and I'm like, okay,
Huh.
I guess that's what we're gonna call it. But it's growing up like that, where you just are like, oh, this is this plant, and this is when you harvest this, that, and the other. You just kind of get used to those types of things.
Yeah.
And I also, on my mom's side of the family, we, like most of the women, are psychic and have the gift, as they call it. So when I started getting older and understanding things a little bit more, that was when I was like, oh, people don't see these things? Okay. So I started looking for answers, and this was, back in the days where I had to scour the shelves of thrift bookstores and Borders and Barnes and Nobles, and barely had any information out there. And I remember when I was in middle school, there was a group of girls in my art class that were talking, and they were talking about this book, and I went over there and I was like, I know what y'all are talking about. And they freaked out. Of course, they were
Wow.
like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm into this type of stuff. And then it just went from there.
Wow. So middle
So,
school. I mean, aside
mhm.
from the family, so there was the family influence, of course, but then middle school. And do you remember what the book was? Like,
It was Our Lady Sheba, if I remember. It was the black
Oh, I
cover.
remember that one. I think I
yes.
have that book too. That was
Yeah.
she
Oh
was
my
really
gosh.
she was a great teacher because her book was very informative. I remember
Mhm.
that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was
Right
that, and
on.
then I think also there was The Solitary Witch was the other book that I got started with too.
Is that the one by The Solitary Witch? Is that the big one, the big reddish kind of book by
Yeah.
what's her name? Silver Ravenwolf?
Yes,
Silver
that one.
That's
Ravenwolf.
a good
Yeah.
book. That's a
Yeah.
really good book. I love that.
That's reaching back.
Awesome. Great books you brought up, girl. The one with
Mm-hmm.
Sheba, though, that one is not as well known as people
Mhm.
think.
Oh yeah.
And only a few people had her book, but it's filled with so much amazing information that I love it. I love her book.
Yes. I think I still have it somewhere in my bookshelf.
It's
So,
always going to be
Hey.
around. Believe me, it's on my
It's
bookshelf
a
facing me
classic.
right now.
yes.
It's a classic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a classic. Okay. So from your point of view, what does it mean to be that practitioner? Like how would you describe it for yourself? Like what do you go through with it?
So I work a lot with my ancestors and my spiritual court. So every day I'm going to my altar. I'm giving them coffee. I'm giving them food. I am, reciting psalms and talking about what's going on, and like meditating and everything. And this is all before I even have my first cup of coffee.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah. So we're doing that on a regular basis. And then, it's also, for me, it's become so habitual that it's just a part of my day at this point.
Right.
So, like, I say a little something before I get in my car and I drive to work, or I have candles that I'm lighting, and incense that I'm using before I start my readings, or, I'm carrying things in my pocket that are supposed to ward off funky energy. It's just something that I do on a regular basis, and most people are like, they don't even notice it because it's just
Mm.
so streamlined at this point. So
Right. And
That's
that actually is a part, and well, you've entered into a part of the question I was going to ask, which is how is this a part of your day-to-day living? How is this a part of your life? And since you've covered a little bit of that already,
mhm.
I'd like to go backwards a little bit then and ask, when you first started really acknowledging that this work as a practitioner was a part of who you are, what were some of the first things that you incorporated into, aside from reading the books, like what were the first
Mhm.
things that you started actually practicing?
Oh, I remember I dragged my dad to the bookstore and I bought the Leonardo da Vinci tarot deck. And I
Oh,
also bought a giant book called I think it was called like Everything You Need to Know About Tarot. And I think it was like
Oh
this
my
thick.
gosh. Right.
I remember
Okay.
that book.
And
Yeah.
I just started like delving into that. But then, of course, I also would do like nature walks, and I started
Mm,
looking and seeing what was available around me, and noticing the different seasonal changes and
mm.
incorporating that into my practice. So that's kind of how I got started.
Yeah.
That's
No, I love
great. Great.
I'm partial to the cards, so I can totally appreciate that journey. Yes. Right on.
I knew you were gonna be, because that's her thing. That's her
That's
jam.
my thing. That's my jam. Yes.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about what has become very important for you.
So, what's really become important to me is, it's interesting because during my journey, and of course, like with being a psychic medium and everything, you just, things will just talk to you. Like you just buying
Yeah.
groceries, and it's like, hey, we need this offering, right? So the thing that I've incorporated quite a bit, especially since I've moved to New Orleans, is working with the saints and stuff.
Mm.
And I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of times the saints, yeah, of course, you have the energy in that in and of itself through Catholicism, but you also have the fact that with living where I live, you have people that practice African traditional religions, and those saints stand for those spirits that they worked with. So it's
Mhm.
almost like I'm kind of honoring the land while working with a language that's a little bit, it's respectful, I guess.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's fabulous. That's
Yeah.
Mhm.
fabulous. Um, so and this is interesting because you're speaking about the you were just telling us or sharing a bit about the land that you're on and the area that you're in. Tell us a bit about the work you're doing or the work you have with community right now.
So right now, I am in a little bit of a process of rebranding and trying to
Mhm.
kind of reach out and work with other people in different things, because I love doing the readings where I do. I really do.
Yes.
It's just more of like, oh, well, I also can offer these services for other people. So,
Yeah.
I'm in that process of, kind of finding my niche and,
Mhm.
figuring out the people that want to help me along that journey, and
Yeah.
maybe, and also doing more, things that are a little bit more accessible for people is
Right.
the word that I
Right.
want to use.
Right
Hmm.
on. Right
Awesome.
on. That's important. Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, so what would you like to see us as practitioners or witches accomplish more that is
I
not seen being fed right now?
I think so. I understand, especially with the state of the world as it is right now. And I feel like as we're in this weird space where, we can use technology like what we're using right now to be able to have like a
Mhm.
good outreach. But I also think it's really important for people to still like, do the legwork and do
Mm.
stuff in person and
Yes.
building up their community, and also like just helping other people,
Mm.
because everybody's like, oh, well, I got to honor the goddess and I got to do this and I got to do that. I'm like, yeah, but you can do that by go working in a soup kitchen. Like you can also go
Right.
do those things like by helping people and walking the walk and talking the talk.
Right. Do the work.
Well said. Well
Yes.
said. So, what projects do you have coming up or thinking about? I mean, I understand that you're doing this work of, finding this next space or the next type of work that you're doing
Yeah.
and the people to connect with. What projects do you have coming up right now?
So I am writing book. I have it's like I think whenever you're an author, you've got like a bajillion different ideas, and you're like, okay, which one are we doing first?
Mhm.
So
True.
we're we're doing a lot of research, writing recipes down, that sort of thing, and just kind of doing okay, so if I do it this way, does this make sense, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, between the book, and I'm trying to fix up the website so that way I can start offering my products again, as well as the other services that I have. So that I'm hoping to get that done within the next month and a half, and get that all fixed up. So yeah,
it's a lot.
Awesome.
There's lots going on. In other words, yes,
And it
that's
takes
awesome.
a lot. It's very time consuming and takes a lot of work. So
yes.
it is work.
It is
So
work.
any events you have coming up this year?
So I will be teaching at Hex Fest this year, and
Awesome.
yes,
In
and
New Orleans, yes, because you
Yes.
are in New Orleans already. Yes.
yes, and then I'm also planning on doing a submission for the new the spectacle whatever the
Right, the new
the new
ghosty one.
conference. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I talk to dead people on a regular basis and was like, okay, that's completely up my alley. So.
Yeah. But it would not be too far fetched. It
No.
won't be too hard to do.
That's a good idea. That's
Right.
awesome.
That's awesome.
And when is that one coming up again? I think that's in October, right?
Yes, it is in October.
Yes. Yes. Awesome.
Right. That deadline is fast approaching. We only have a few more
right?
days. Yes,
Yes, it
indeed.
is.
Yeah. So, well, I thank you so much. And please, when you have that book out, you'll
us
let
know.
us know.
Absolutely.
You'll let us know. That would be fabulous.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. We have been scrolling your website, but I'm going to put it up again once more on the screen. If people want to contact you for services or for readings, do you do virtual readings also?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
I do video, phone, and in-person services. And I do have you can contact me through the website, or you can also contact me through my social media outlets via Instagram or Facebook.
And is it still the Sea Witch Emporium on Instagram and Facebook?
Yes.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so
for
much,
taking
Lee.
the
Such a pleasure.
time.
No
Yes.
problem. It was a pleasure.
It's been
Thank you.
awesome having you. Thank you. And now a word about the other shows here on Magickal Witchy World TV.
All right. It's horoscope time. So your
Horoscope.
Taurus season, May 2025. Now you guys know we've already covered Aries and now through Aries through Sagittarius. And now we're going to begin with Capricorn tonight. So the last 3 signs are for tonight. So Capricorn, pace yourself, please. Following up on a theme that began in March, which was the Pisces season. Taurus season continues to bring a lot of work and responsibilities in your way, okay? So it means, again, pace yourself because you're going to get overwhelmed. This is due to the lunar north node sitting next to your planet Saturn, magnifying the need for you to close deals, meet deadlines, and finish work. Lasting until the end of May, Gemini season. This influence is connected to building something meaningful over the passage of time, which means that all the efforts you're putting into your work will eventually reap great rewards. You may have experienced a win or received a prize for a job well done around May 20th, which was one of your luckiest days for this season. Today, as the Taurus Sun harmonizes with Saturn, it would be a fantastic time to ask for a raise, for example. And again, like even though that was May 20th was one of your luckiest days, the luckiest day that you actually had was actually on May 15th. That was because that new moon had entered Capricorn. So that was your luckiest day for the month of May. So I hope it worked out great for you, Capricorns, okay? This star sign will make you feel emotionally connected to loved ones and be seen in a positive, relatable light to others. So use
Mm.
this cosmic influence in your favor. If you're looking for connection or collaboration, now is the time. And luckily, you also get fun energies running through your chart this month with the April 27th new moon in Taurus, bringing the chance to bring new people into your orbit. And it came all the way through till now. A new romantic interest could also be in the cards, but might not be exactly the type you normally date. So stay open minded, okay? Don't just go, no, you're not my type, or whatever. Let things play out. As the potent new moon approaches, coming up on the 27th, you could be spending this weekend, that weekend, mingling with your new pals. As you can see, Capricorn, balancing your work life balance is a theme and a must for this month for you. Okay. Your Taurus season essential oil is lemongrass. And lemongrass reawakens your energies when you're feeling on the verge of exhaustion. Again, because you need to pace yourself because of all the work that's been throwing itself at you. So you'll need it to keep yourself focused at work. Add it to your chest and your wrist before important meetings and tasks. Okay? There you go.
Love that
Right.
lemongrass. Yay, Capricorn. All right, Aquarius. Taurus season will bring you the opportunity to get in touch with your power. I want you to think back, way back to January 3rd, and ask yourself to remember what transpired in your life around that time. Because that same theme was reawakened around April 26th, and think about what occurred at that time as well. So January 3rd, April 26th, those periods. Because those occurrences will let you know the life changes you need to make to keep evolving. January 3rd, April 26th, important to know what occurrences will let you know the life changes that will keep you evolving. That cycle that began then on April 27th at that new moon carried the energy, bringing a fantastic time to consult the tarot as a way to dig deep into your subconscious mind. So we're going back a little ways, but if you were able to do any divinatory work back on April 27th, go back, review, and see how that allowed you to really dig into your subconscious mind. This spiritual work will be carried forward by this May new moon, which promises to awaken, that new moon promise to awaken your psychic abilities and downloads. Your luckiest day for May 20th, for May 2025 was when the sun entered Gemini on May 20th, so just a couple days ago. Gemini season illuminates your romantic pleasure sphere, bringing you luck in matters of the heart. So trust your creative breakthroughs, seek playfulness with others. Your lighthearted aura attracts blessings. Your planet Genus Uranus was activated between May 11th and May 18th. So during that time, brilliant, out of the box, and even weird ideas were born. Don't discard them, as they could prove to be productive down the road. Since Uranus is also the planet of unexpected energy, currently traveling in your home sector, you could also be receiving news about your family or living situation. Remember to go with the flow and look for the positive in every single event that transpires now. It might also help to know that the disruptive energy you've been experiencing in this part of your life is coming to an end at the beginning of July. All right. Your Taurus season essential oil is blue lotus.
Ooh, that sounds
Planet,
nice.
yeah. With your planet Uranus being active this Taurus season, psychic downloads will invade your mind. Adding a few drops of the legendary Egyptian blue lotus oil clears your crown chakra, purifying the information you receive from above.
All
All
right. That
right.
sounds so nice.
Yes.
Right.
Love it.
Okay. So, last but not least, Pisces. Good news for you. After two very busy Pisces and Aries seasons, Taurus season provides you with the space to catch your breath. While the days surrounding from April 24th Venus Saturn meet up in your sign meant closing business deals and the beginning of a new partnerships. The rest of the month slowed things down for you. The luckiest day for you was in May, on May 21st, when the moon met the north node in your sign. The moon conjunct the north node speaks of fated developments in your domestic life,
Mm.
your relationships, and your family. On that date, you were reminded of your potential and expansive opportunities and asked to follow your intuition. Here's hoping that you did that, okay? You should have welcomed May with a mellow schedule, as you have felt pretty low in energy between May 1st and May 5th, when Pluto went retrograde in the most private sector of your chart. This would have been an opportune time to dive into esoteric practices like tarot, astrology, and the Akashic records,
Mm.
as the universe had been sending you messages via signs, symbols, and even your dreams. This season's Jupiter lunar nodes connection will be active all throughout the month of May, but was most prominent for you on May 18th and was important for you to pay close attention to. You might need to make a decision concerning your home, your partner, or a deal or contract. While you're always looking into keeping everyone involved happy, this is a time to put yourself as well as your needs first. Stop trying to people please,
Huh.
as it is not getting you anywhere. Okay? By doing so, you're setting the tone for a successful future and opening the door for sweet news to arrive before the Jupiter leaves Gemini on June 9th. Okay? Your Taurus season essential oil is lavender. Since you'll be focusing on slowing down and recuperating after the busyness of Pisces and Aries seasons, lavender oil is your go-to this Taurus season. Just add a few drops to your pillow before heading to sleep to reset your nervous system. All right.
Love,
I like
love.
that.
Now,
That
of
is
course, we
awesome.
have to pull some cards.
Yes. All right. So Rhonda, what are we pulling the
Hey,
card for tonight? The one card.
I want the
And don't
one
forget,
card.
before we go into that, don't
Yes,
forget, people, get your cards out and you're gonna
yes,
pull your card as well. Okay. Go ahead, Rhonda.
yes. So I just want to say we're going into this new moon coming up, but and it's going to be at what is it, the
The
strawberry moon or
27th.
something, the 20 to
The
27th or something.
27th, yeah.
Okay, um, 26th or 20. I have the 26th, but whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. Whatever the case may be, we're closing in. But I want us to look at where do we add sweetness. So where is that area of sweetness? Where is the area of sweetness in our world right now? What is the area of sweetness as we
Okay.
come close to this new moon? What's the area of sweetness?
Ooh, okay.
Oh,
So
uh-oh. I don't know.
what did you get, girl? What did you
I'm
get?
pulling this one. 7 of swords?
All
What?
right.
My
Okay.
area of sweetness. Okay, so let me just throw my other
She looks in
cards down here.
protection mode to
Uh,
me.
yeah,
It's in
sweet.
protection mode.
This is the area of sweetness. So I'm just going to say, because swords are all about thoughts and ideas, headspace, it's all this up here. And yes, true, some traditional interpretation of the 7 of Swords has to do with, and I don't truly adhere to this interpretation, but it has to do with sneaking off, being very creative with our language, et cetera, et cetera. So when I look at areas of sweetness when it comes to language, what it suggests to me is adding sweetness to the way I communicate. Now, mind you, the 7 of Swords has to do with a little bit of glamoring because it can mean the language that this person uses is the language of someone who is able to make things sound good for their own benefit. And that can be abused. You know what I'm saying? You could be the skillful tongue twister kind of person. But I'm just going to say using the sweetness area is going to be in how I communicate, being being affirming. I'm taking this as the lesson to be affirming with others, to be kind, and to use sweet language as opposed to manipulative language. I'm going to use that language for this interpretation. Being sweet with the way I communicate. Because I'm a
Okay.
Scorpio and I know myself. I know myself. Right.
Okay. Since you said sweet, I have to keep trying to say sweet. This is the Knight of Wands. And if you look at it,
Ooh.
can you see it properly?
Can you pull it back a little bit? There you go. Now I can see it. Yes, the
Okay,
whole of it.
The Knight of Wands.
Yes.
And he looks so steadfast. And I'm trying to
Mhm.
put the sweet into there, you know what I mean? Because to me, he's offering creative means, almost like he's saying he's coming charging with it, and he's kind of saying, I would love to share my creations with you, or whatever it is.
Mm.
And in in some ways, the idea that I got when I saw it was like, he really does
Yes.
not give a shit if you want this to share his creative ideas with or not. He's like, you're gonna accept this.
Because he's
Like,
fire. He's all
you know,
passionate.
and I'm like, okay, I know he's trying to be sweet there, but he's saying he still does not.
Yes.
That's the feeling I got with it, you know, because it was like with no apologies, no care, no nothing. He's like, I know you want me to be sweet, but I can only be who I am.
And he's fiery. He's all
Unapologetically so. And I
passionate.
was like, you know what? It's okay. It's all good.
It's all
But,
good.
but
It's
it
all
does
good.
sound a lot like me.
It's like, how do you tinge that? You know what it reminds me of? Hot honey, spicy
Okay,
honey.
okay, like
That's
cider
where I'm
honey
going.
kind of a thing,
Yes.
or honey mixed with cider or something. I don't
Yes.
know,
It's
you know.
spicy honey. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. And I like
spicy
my
honey is
honey spicy, so
quite
whatever. I like
good.
everything spicy, so it doesn't
Spicy.
matter to me.
Yes.
But this sounds a lot,
Nice.
go charging forward, and he's very steadfast about it, and and I'm like, okay, it's all good.
I
I
l I like
I
that.
started laughing to myself.
I like that. So when you guys grab your cards, we're going into this strawberry new moon, which is all about sweetness, and it's very
Yeah.
light and it's very lovey. And where do you find your sweetness? Where do you
Okay.
find your sweetness?
Sounds good. Okay. And
Awesome.
next week, our guest will be Sitlali. I hope I don't mess that up. Sitlali Yayetzi. Sit.
Yes.
Please forgive me. I know I'm bastardizing her
Yahtzee.
name. I
That's all right.
apologize. Okay, but
But we're
they will
excited to
explain it
have
to us
them
when
next
they come
week.
on next Friday. They will
Yes.
explain it for us. And
Right
we wanted
on.
to thank Mimi Curry for joining us tonight. We
Yes.
appreciated her being here with us tonight so much. And Rhonda.
Please do like, subscribe, and share, you guys. We really appreciate you being here. And for everybody in the chat, I know Lovetta, thank you for coming in. Melissa, thank you for being here tonight, too. We really
Yes.
appreciate everybody joining us. If you have any questions, if you have guest recommendations,
Yes.
comments,
Suggestions, ideas,
feedback,
thoughts.
leave them on our YouTube, post them in our Facebook. We appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining us again tonight.
And we'll
And
see you next week.
we'll see you next week.